Hello there and welcome to Sister Sister. It's another week and we're completely thrilled to come your way once again. It's your favorite all-women talk show live on City FM and City TV. My name is Jessica, your regular host for this particular show, and the show is brought to you by Vodafone, Together We Can, Talia Rice, Always Coming Home to Love, and Kel Kids Toothpaste, Happy Smiles. Now, we'll go for a quick break. When we return, I will be introducing the ladies on the show with me today, plus we'll be jumping right into a couple of the messages that this show has received this week. I'll let you know also how you can be part of the conversation, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sister Sister on City TV and City FM. So we're also live across Sub-Saharan Africa. DSTV channel 363 is how you will reach us, and you can also find us on GoTV channel 182. Okay, so now that you know how you can reach us, you can also interact with us on the show. Our WhatsApp number is 054-998-6996. You can send an email to Jessica at cityfmonline.com or find us on Facebook at Sister Sister LIVE. That's Sister Sister Live. Okay, like our page. Join our growing community. All right, so it's that time of the day to, just introduce the sisters. In studio, I've got Ceci, I've got Olivia. Ladies, so good to see you.
Same
Olivia,
here.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
It's October, so I'm in all pink.
Very
breast
important.
cancer awareness.
I see the whole ribbon thing going on.
Nice.
Until you mentioned it, I didn't actually notice, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So let's continue to, raise awareness. The earlier you find it, the better, and then, you can save yourself a whole lot of trauma. People actually die. And for men as well. Men actually experience breast cancer, even though we don't talk about it, but it's a big deal.
Cool.
So yeah.
Alrighty. And Ceci?
Yes,
How are
I'm
you?
drinking from a pink and white mug. Yes.
So yeah, in the spirits. In other words.
I am.
Great,
Let's get
great,
screened.
great.
Let's get screened. Very important. So yeah,
Completely
early
agree.
detection.
Yeah.
Saves lives.
Exactly.
Claudia, what are you doing in your corner in Berlin?
Well, I have no pick. I'm just enjoying the lukewarm cold weather. So, yeah.
Yeah, all good, all good. Well, it's good to see you again, and thanks for joining us.
Same here.
Alrighty. So we'll jump right into our first message for today. Is that okay?
Alrighty.
Super. Says, hello, sisters. I've been married for the past 5 years. After a year of marriage without any pregnancy, we decided to seek medical help, and we found out that he can't have children because of a condition he has, unless there will be a miracle. Now, after visiting several hospitals, they all recommended IVF with a donor, but hubby said he's not interested. I went on to ask him to consider adoption, and he also turned that down. Suddenly, he stopped making love to me, and whenever I make an attempt, he pushes me away. After some months, I invited our counselor, and he told the counselor that he doesn't believe in the medical reports. According to him, he impregnated his ex some time ago, but she lost the pregnancy after a fall. I also found out recently that he's cheating on me after I saw a message on his phone on his birthday. Now I'm confused. I don't know if I should leave this marriage or stay. I also wish to have children of my own, so please help. Alrighty, so who wants to go first? Claudia, should I come to you?
No.
I don't know why the ladies are always like, someone needs to jumpstart this, and then everyone, okay, so Olivia, if Claudia... No?
Okay. Oh gosh.
It's a touchy subject.
It
is. It's very touchy.
It is a touchy subject, and I don't even know where to start from.
Yeah.
The reason being that technically we would have advised her to do all the things she stated there. Get a counselor, speak to your husband, communicate with him, and she's said all of those things, get a donor to have an IVF done and all of that, but he's just not receptive to all these suggestions. Do you know what? The other thing is, I have no idea why people feel like once they're married and there's a problem, they look for solutions out of their marriage. Masa, your sperm count is low. Why are you going out of your marriage, shagging some other girl, thinking that you get her pregnant? For all you know, right, it could be, and I do stand to be corrected, this ex of yours could have cheated on you with somebody else, gotten pregnant, and probably committed an abortion and told you that she fell, therefore she lost the baby.
You never know.
You never know. And the thing is, okay, they've gone to one hospital. The question is, have they tried other options? Like, have they tried, when I say other options, have they tried to get, like, results from other hospitals besides just one hospital? And the question is, how do they relay the information to this man? Because obviously his ego is bruised. And there could also be a high possibility that the guy, now he knows that he has sperm issues. And he's probably just being all macho to come across like, Charlie, you are the problem. Like, I don't want to accept it. But the thing is,
They actually went to several hospitals.
they went to several hospitals. Okay, yes, they did go to several hospitals. But the thing is, if as a man, you don't talk to your wife about it, how do you solve the problem? Sleeping with another woman to try and get her pregnant is not the answer. For all you know, you could be sleeping with this other woman, right? She'll get pregnant, but it's not your baby. Charlie, we've had time and time again of stories, of research, different places here in Ghana where people are fathering children that aren't their children. I mean, you could have decided to go get pregnant and give it to him, and it would have messed up the relationship, but no. Okay, enough blabbing about the situation. How do you move on? I know you've done it all, but I feel like you need to have a conversation with your husband one last time, so you know whether you're in or you're out. If I were you, I will sit my husband down and I will tell him, sir, this is our problem together. It's not just you. And to be honest, when it comes to low sperm count, it's irreversible. I think, like a lot of, not irreversible, but you can't treat it. Some research, at least I've done a little research, okay, that shows that depending on what you eat, sometimes medication, sometimes sit with the doctor, have a conversation with the doctor. Is it that he saw the results and bam, he's just closed in, he's not interested, he works perfectly as a man? Like, is he open to other suggestions about how he himself can solve the problem as an individual? Okay, because I know there are certain foods that you can actually take. I know there's, I think there's Indian ginseng that really does help in terms of increasing one's sperm count. There's also, there's this fenugreek as well that also helps, like when supplements, that also helps to increase sperm count. But the question is, what is low sperm count? Information is power. He needs to educate.
It is reversible.
Yes, it is reversible. You need to educate yourself about, okay, this is the problem. How do I go past it? You don't want your wife getting this IVF thing done. So as a man, what can you do? So seek professional advice, and then they'll tell you things to do. Like, for example, if your sperm count is down, there's no way you should be going out drinking, because drinking can affect your situation. You need to be exercising. You need to be eating right. You need to be avoiding certain foods, and you need to avoid getting all stressed out. So there are things that you can do step by step in order to ensure that you reverse this whole problem. The fact you can't just get up and say you're going to sleep with another woman and hopefully she'll get pregnant and hope the situation is going to change. So these are some of the suggestions I think that you can make to your husband. Okay, seek professional advice. Get him to sit down and tell him that, babe, listen, I don't want people hearing about our problem. Your problem is my problem. I love you. I want us to have a children together. I don't want to let go of this marriage. Have that one last conversation with him and let him know that, Charlie, you're in this for life. Him going out is not going to solve the problem, and that it is reversible. So be all positive about it. Let him know that there's a solution to it and something can be done about it. If still he's adamant, he doesn't want to know, I'm not going to sit here and tell you, Jana Maninko, because Charlie, Obia warrior Sam. It's maybe you go and say, Olivia said that I should leave you. No, like, it's your decision to make. And I can understand where you're coming from. You also want to have a child of your own. So by all means, and you see, back to what you also said. You said apparently you've tried everything else and the doctors are saying that he would need a miracle. So I'm going to also handle it from, I like to balance things in my life. I believe that God is still in the miracle business, and God is amazing. He still gives people babies. I refer to the Bible constantly, from Sarah to Hannah, you name it. These are evidence of people's lives being transformed because of the power of God. So if it means that he can't have children, he needs to eat the things that he has to eat and back it by prayer and a lot of going down on your knees and praying together. I remember perfectly well when I had my first child, it wasn't a problem. And my husband is the only child. His mom is the only child. So having the second child was a challenge. So we had tried. And we're like, yo, like, what's up? Because Isaac came, it was not a problem. We had tried. And then we actually went to the doctor, to see our doctor, to say, hey, Masa, we've been trying to have a second child. We can't seem to understand what's happening. And the doctor is like, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with Stefan. So just keep trying. It's going to come. We tried. It still wasn't coming. There was this night, and I go back to faith as a Christian. There was this night, I know it sounds weird, but I'll say it time and time again, and I hope that it's a blessing to somebody out there. There was this night just before the act, right? My husband just held my hands. We went on our knees and we prayed. And we had a name for our child, and we knew the sex of the child that we wanted.
Wow.
We knew that we wanted him to be Zephaniah. We knew we wanted it to be a boy. So we went on our knees and we prayed to God that night. I got pregnant.
Interesting.
Just like that. So it's also about faith, you know, so as a Christian. And I don't believe in, sweethearts, don't go from church to church to church and let some crazy man who pretends to be a man of God, who is not a man of God, tell you that come and let him sleep with you and he'll take money from you. No. It's about your walk with God as a child of God. And trust me, Jesus still does miracles. So pray on it, do what you need to do physically, and try as much as possible to get your husband's ear. And trust me, there's this other scripture that also talks about the heart of God is in the hands of man. So right now, your husband is like adamant, he's all closed up, but Charlie, when you go on your knees and you know the God you serve and you pray and you read scripture and you fast, Charlie, God moves mountains. He will just turn his mind around, and you need to have faith. Sometimes people pray amiss and they don't pray having faith and believing that the God they serve will actually answer their prayers, but God does that. So have that walk with God. Go on your knees, pray, and cook these foods. Like, find out for yourself. If you need to introduce these things to your husband's diet without him knowing, sweetheart, do. Pray on it time and time again. You never know. God answers prayers. No, I know God answers prayers. Not you never know. I know. Try that. Hopefully it works for you.
Cool beans. Alrighty.
Hallelujah.
Well, what do you think? Because, I mean, for me, I understand the situation they're in, but what I also, and this, I hear this a lot, like people not being able to have kids, but still not thinking adoption is an option.
Exactly.
You know? I mean, what do you think about that?
Okay, so IVF. You see, the normal thing or the norm is when you get married, the only person you want to have kids with is your spouse. Now, when you're confronted with infertility issues, now there's a setback. For women, although I think that the issue of infertility is not gender-based, or it is balance between the two. I mean, there's a balance between the two, and it hits everybody different. For women, I think women are more open to the discussion. Women are more open to talk to people, find solutions. But men, on the other hand, once they are hit with that diagnosis, there's a drawback. Their ego, So it's like the very essence of their manhood is being questioned. Like the ability to father a child. Charlie, you are not able to father a child. Like, come on, what am I doing in this marriage? Especially if the main aim of this union was to have kids. Now, it is not something that is easily acceptable, be it adoption or IVF. So long as the child is not a child that is going to carry your genes, it becomes a problem. So for women, you can have emotions disappointment. Sometimes you even resent your husband for it, especially if he's the one who has the issue. You start to resent him. For men, disappointment and guilt and the inability to give your wife a child. So everybody handles it differently. Now, to the issue of him rejecting this IVF, like I already said, this child will not carry your genes, so you have an issue with it. For the woman, she'll be a bit more open to it because at least her egg is going into that contribution, so the child is going to carry a part of her. But now that another man's sperm is coming into the picture, there's a problem, because that idea of, or that knowledge of the fact that this child didn't come from you will always be lauded over his head, if consciously or unconsciously. Okay, so like Olivia said, the food, it's treatable. Okay, though the doctor said, okay, there is the guy will need a miracle. Yeah, there are times when diagnoses have been proven wrong. Yes, so the food aspect, and then also, well, the prayer, Olivia has overemphasized. So whatever it is that you believe in, okay, or whoever it is that you believe in, I won't assume that she believes in, so I mean, but then she does believe in something. So whatever it is that she believes in, she should seek the face of God or whoever it is that you believe in. But more importantly, when things like this happen, there's a possibility that the conversation between the couple will be broken because the man is withdrawn, the woman wants to talk in most cases, like from everything that I have read around these things. Because the man's ego is bruised, so he does not want to talk about it. So I'm sure that the reason why he has stopped sleeping with her is because I am sleeping with you, but I'm not producing results. So why am I even sleeping with you? Okay, I'm not condoning the fact that he's cheating on her. Maybe he's too shy or too embarrassed to take the bull by the horns.
Or maybe he wants to verify. That's what I'm probably, like if he impregnates another woman, then you see it's not me, it's not me.
But
kind
this X2A, I'm thinking that it's either the child was not his. I'm sorry,
you never know.
But yeah, it's either the child was not his, or
it could even be a lie.
Yeah, or she wasn't pregnant at all. Okay, So I mean, the X, water under the bridge. That is not the issue right now. It was once. Water under the bridge. So right now you are confronted with this issue that you don't have kids in your marriage. So I think she needs to be able to draw him out, because right now he's in his shell and you need to draw him out because of this ego issue. So you need to draw him out. If the counselor thing is not working, try another route. If this IVF thing is to work, you need to get a professional to try and unmask or explain what this process really is, the implications and everything. Get him to open up to the idea if it comes down to it. But by all means, try every what's the word I'm looking for? Every option available to you. Then if it comes down to the IVF, you need to do a lot of work, because he's going to be looking at this child. If care is not taken, he's going to be looking at this child as, this child is not mine, this child is not mine, he didn't come from me, he didn't come from me. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done for him to open up to the idea. Why? But I think that between adoption and IVF, I think I'll pick IVF over adoption, because at least half of you is in there. Yes. My 2 cents.
Yeah. Cool. Claudia, let me hear you. Where are your thoughts right now?
For this issue, I don't have a solution or a recommendation, but I'm just going to talk about hints. And so the first one is, can two work together except they agree? You are in a relationship with a man who has decided to find a solution to a problem that both of you are supposed to be solving.
Outside of the marriage. Sure.
And this comes back to the procreational culture that we have in our society, where we are socialized and conditioned to accept that fertility is something that we all have. By default, we assume that all individuals are fertile, but medically, this is so wrong. And even when we bring in the gender dynamics, it's even linked to social esteem, where we've sort of like rooted masculinity in fatherhood. So we even go to the extent of saying an impotent man is not a man. That's how toxic the culture is. And I'm very sure that is where this man's behavior is firmly rooted. What he is doing is so common. And that's why I said it's a touchy issue, because amongst my friends, as young as they are, as educated as they are facing these problems. Some of them to the extent that when they are seeking help for fertility or when they are trying to have kids, you don't even talk about it. One of them went to a clinic, saw a colleague of ours, and the girl was literally hiding. She didn't want others to know that she was trying through other means to have a child. So it's a big problem that we have to talk about. And I think this is a very, very good opportunity for us to discuss these broader issues, which puts pressure on people. But in all this, when trying to solve the problem, when it's women, we always count on the men to support the women, to be there for them, as if it's her problem and she's the one and she's the only one supposed to have a child. So it's kind of interesting now that it's the man who is now the focus of the discussion, and society will now be saying, support your husband in whatever he wants to do because he's too in the game. But unfortunately for her, this man has decided to find what in our circles we call an Ishmael. So Abraham, Isaac, and then Ishmael, where he decided to look outside for a child. Where I'm privy to a case where even the pastor was advising the man that stick to your wife, we don't want you to bring in an Ishmael. And that's precisely what he's doing. He's decided that he doesn't believe in medicine, and his lack of belief in medicine is more of a masculinity issue. He believes that he's done it before. And it's very possible, okay, that even the ex, he was the one responsible, because fertility changes, it can change in your life course. So maybe at that point in time in his life, he was fertile, and then maybe due to a lifestyle or disease or whatever, he's no longer fertile. It's very normal. And he's stuck in that mindset that because I did it with one woman, I can do it again. And now he's cheating. So then I want you to ask yourself, can two work together except they agree? This is not a man who is willing to work on the problem with you. You want to have kids. Does he want to have kids with you? Mm-hmm. That's the question you have to ask yourself. You are saying you want to have kids, but he's out there trying with others. So is this someone who, is it that he wants to try? If he succeeds, he brings the child home and then both of you race together. Or if he succeeds, he wins his ego back, and then the two of you go back to trying again. And what are the chances that you're going to get pregnant? So, I mean, I won't tell you to leave him. I won't tell you to stay. But I would want you to ask yourself, how long can you sustain this? And you mentioned that you brought in your counselor, and he told your counselor that he doesn't believe in medicine. I can't even say that it's because he's religious, because he's out there cheating. Mm-hmm. So the next thing I was going to say was that, okay, bring in a couple who are religious, who have done the donor IVF as a testament that, okay, this is normal, this happens. You can believe in God, you can pray all the prayers, you can fast for 40 days, 40 nights. It might not work. We went for donor IVF and it worked. So this is a testament, this is an example. That was a solution that was floating through my head, that for a very religious person, that's what I would advise the wife to do. Look in your circles, look in your church, a couple who has done it, who are very religious as you, like an example of your marital situation, who decided to try the medical way and then it worked. But can two work together except they agree? Mm-hmm. He's doing his own thing, so maybe you should also think about yourself for now. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I kind of understand and agree with you, Claudia. I mean, If he's not and the problem is he's not willing to accept that he even has a problem.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You know, you can't solve it unless you acknowledge that the problem is there.
Yeah.
So it makes it really dicey, really complicated. We can't tell you to leave your marriage, but there are definitely questions we put out there that you need to think through properly. You know, is it something you're willing to live with? And now he's introducing other people into your relationship. What does that mean for you? You know, there's certain things that you will compromise on, others that you won't. So decide for yourself. You know, I think the answer is there. You know, just decide what would work for you, and we do wish you the best of luck. Okay. Couple of messages. AJ says, Madam, please, you can leave if you want to have babies of your own. Most men who are sterile are difficult to deal with and they don't compromise. Let him continue to cheat. Fabian says, my dear sister, you must be depressed by now. I wish your husband will reason with you. Please give him some time to think things through. You must also pray for him because prayer answereth all things. Agnes says, did I hear he's cheating? He's refused to even work with you regarding his medical condition. I would have assumed he'll be cooperative in such circumstances. You need to explore this matter more as you want children, and he probably doesn't. Did you discuss all these things prior to getting married? Ifya says, see this man, oh, he's playing victim when you are the victim. Ohima, walk out with your chest up. Why? Or is that? Kofi says, where are you going? We, the fresh unmarried guys, don't want divorcees, so stay there. We were there and you chose him.
Oh,
Look at that.
Completely
that's
insensitive.
Very.
Completely insensitive. Peter says, big red flag. If the problem is really from him, as said, he should be the one to be worried about you cheating or leaving. Once a cheat, always a cheat. Leave him before it gets worse. And finally, Marion says, leave before you turn old. Trust me, if the story were the other way around, he won't think twice. My boss had a similar story and he cheated and got the lady pregnant, only to realize later that the child wasn't actually his. He's starving you too. Who knows if the ex was really pregnant? For all you know, he even knew that he couldn't father children.
exactly what I was saying. And the fact that he's having unprotected sex out of his marriage is very worrying because he can even bring her some kind of, sickness. It's dicey.
Lady, just think through this thing well. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, more of your messages. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Sister on City TV and City FM. Let's hear a comment. 054-998-6996. What do you think of the message that we received at the beginning of the show? Let's hear you. In the meantime, another one here says, hello, sisters. I'm 28. He's 29. We've been dating for a year and a half now. When we met, we were both living in our parents' house, and that made it difficult to spend time together. So I advised him to get a place so that we could have our privacy. And he did. This happened 5 months into the relationship, and things had been going on well in the relationship, and, he'd surprise me from time to time. Our problem started when he decided to quit his job and start his own business. He got stressed out a lot, was always busy with work, and also complained about how things were not going well for him. I advised him to get another job and put the business on hold so that when he gets enough money, then he picks up pretty much from where he left off. Excuse me. But he keeps saying that it will work. His rent was due last month, and he asked me to give him about 15% of the rental money to add to his money, since he had about 85% of it. I feel like giving it to him, but I also feel if I do, I may be encouraging him to be lazy and not to work harder. I'm planning to tell him that I don't have the money and that he should ask his friends. Sisters, is this the right thing to do? Claudia. Since you said talk to me.
You see, we really don't understand things as human beings. Marrying or dating an entrepreneur is a different kind of hustle. There are two things. You either marry someone who is in a secure job, who likes his security, and there are always risks to even that security to men who don't take risk. There are also risks to that. And there are also the advantage of being with a guy who is a hustler. And when you decide to be with someone who is a hustler, you need to recalibrate your thinking about stability and support. Because you see, I don't know if the two of you had a discussion before I didn't catch that part, but before he decided to start the business. And I think you referenced telling him to leave because you feel responsible that because you told him to leave, now you have to help him to pay his rent. But then I want you to ask yourself, if you were the one in such a bind, would you expect him to help you pay your rent? If the answer is yes, then you have to support him, because then the two of you are together. Fine, you are dating, you are boyfriend, girlfriend, you are working, it might not even end in marriage. But at this point in time, you are dating a hustler. And I mean, if it blows, you'll be happy to enjoy the bounty when it comes. So you have to make that decision now, that this experimentation that he's doing with his life, are you ready for the long haul? Or are you ready to support him? Because once you stay, there are two states of mind. Either you are going to look on indifferent, aloof, or you are going to be committed to supporting the hustler. So you have to ask yourself, what is your life philosophy? Are you ready to go the stable way where the man takes care of you, where he's in charge? There's that. And there's the other one where you are supposed to support him, you're supposed to help him with his dream. You have to make the decision about the future that you envision for yourself. He's not lazy. And we also have this capitalist mentality of you are working, so you're supposed to make it. Not all work will make you rich. Not all work will make you. You see, we have this mentality that he's not rich because he's not working hard. The people in the market hustling on the streets, the hawkers, they are working very hard. But they are not rich. So this your metrics of calculating that you are not seeing money. So he's lazy and he's not working. I don't agree with you. And I feel it's a false premise because sometimes people are really putting in their 100% and their all. But it's not working out. And we even say that there are some people who are lucky in life. They touch everything and it turns to gold. And there are some people who have to work 3 or 4 times as hard before they can make it. So now you know the philosophy and the path that he's taking. Instead of you crying and asking yourself if you should help him now, I think the bigger question should be, can you help him if this path is supposed to continue for the rest of his life? If not, take a bow now and leave him to struggle and hustle. If you feel you want to help him not thinking that he's lazy and you are being philanthropic. For me, that part of saying he's lazy and hardworking, I feel is unfair because you are not even with him in the business. You don't know what he's doing. You don't know the mental capacity that he's applying to this business. You don't know the other stress. I don't know how much you talk as a couple because dating entrepreneurs, sometimes they come back and they burden you with all the business issues. So then you have a fair idea. So I also see a communication issue here because I feel you don't have a fair picture as to the efforts he's putting into this business. And convincing him to go back to the job, it is not as easy as you put it. Yeah. Because you see, there's this sunk cost fallacy where you feel, okay, I've put in 100,000 Ghana cedis. I'm not going to let this thing fail. So you keep pushing in the money. You keep pushing in the money, hoping that it will work out. It's 50-50, it's 20-80. It might work out, it might not work out. So the fact that you, as an outsider, telling him that he should stop this dream that he's nursing, to go and look for another job just so he will seem responsible to you, I would just want you to walk a mile in his shoe. Walk a mile in his shoes. You left your job. You went to start a business on the side. And we know that the struggles that entrepreneurs face, even looking for funding for a business. I work with an organization where we have to physically go and talk to people to find money. It's not that we are incompetent. They have to believe in your dream, to buy into your dream. Sometimes you even have to hire people to make you look marketable. So it's a whole big picture out there. If you're not ready to chip in the rent, don't chip in. Tell him you don't feel it's your responsibility, but don't talk him out of his dreams. Make that decision. Am I going to be the supportive person or am I going to be aloof? That's a decision you have to make based on your philosophy. If you decide to stay, you also have to make that decision that, okay, I'm going to be with an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. There are risks to this. Am I going to support? Am I going to be aloof? And each of the decisions that you make, it comes with consequences. But if you decide to help, it should be that you feel he's worthy of the help that you are giving. But from the text, it's as if you don't feel he's worthy of the support that he's supposed to get. And so for me, it will be support premised on false assumptions, and so not genuine. So you have to sit and think through, if you were him, would you expect him to help you pay your rent? Or would you look to your friends and family? Therein lies your answer.
I love it. I really love what you said, the very final thing.
So
if the
true.
role was turned, you know that she would have expected him to pay.
Thank you.
Exactly.
And if he didn't, she will go and tell
Yes.
stories about how he's not supportive.
Yes.
I don't know why women do that. When it's on the other foot, all the times go to friends and family. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, Claudia hit the nail so hard on the head, and I agree with her 110%. The question is, you don't want to support him, but yet, should he wake up tomorrow morning and he's a billionaire, you
She will enjoy
expect
it,
that
She
you will enjoy the benefits
She will enjoy
of it. You expect him to buy you the latest car, buy you the latest like clothes and stuff. Like, ask yourself, if it were my brother, right, my best friend, the guy got 85% of rent, and he's just asking you for 15%, and the problem is on the show.
Yeah.
Like, if I were the guy, like by now, but then what to no parking? Like, really?
Yeah.
Until when are some women going to appreciate that, Charlie, if I give a man money, it doesn't take anything away from me.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's a hard worker, and he's an entrepreneur. Like, Claudia has said it all. Like, okay, we are telling you, give him the 15%. But don't let it be breaking news. Oh, today he's asked you for 15%. So because you've given him 15%, it's like, hey, every time he's giving you money, should I not be the one who's asking you for money and all of that? No, it cannot be. Like, support him like you would a brother, like you would a best friend, and be there for him. Encourage him. Like, Rome was not built in a day. And it takes, sometimes we as women, we need to sit back. We need to be supportive. We are not saying that be the latest bank, financial, whatever to him. We're just saying that, Masa, encourage the guy. If it means that you have to chip in 100, by now, is probably like 100 CDs that we're even talking about. If it means that you have to support him however way that you can, and be there for him. Encourage him, pray for him, bless him, little by little. Tomorrow, the fact that you've invested in him, or the fact that you've even seen the lights the light in the tunnel, or however it is, at the end of the tunnel, the fact that you're there for him, tomorrow he knows that, Charlie, or when he does well, he knows that, Charlie, when things were really bad, you were really there for me. So tomorrow, when you're also spending some, you can confidently say, Charlie, I was there with you, X, Y, and Z. But even so, assuming the relationship doesn't even go anywhere, at least, can't we just love people for who they are?
Yeah.
Not because of what we can get from them in return. This is somebody I believe you probably have been intimate with. You share a lot together. So when he's asking you for help, how many men do you think enjoy asking women for money? Unless it's a typical lazy guy who just wants money to be on his phone or look good, or there's some guys who are like that. But this guy, you can clearly see that, Charlie, he's trying. You think that it was easy for him to come and tell you that he's got 85%, so give me 15%.
Yeah,
no,
that must have been hard
Charlie,
for him, actually.
some way.
Yeah.
So, Charlie, women out there, sometimes, Charlie, some way. Look sharp.
Ceci, what do you
Let me
think?
put this aside. Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
Good. So, first of all, you were the one who suggested that you guys should move out of your parents' house. You were living in your parents' house for free. And then
You said he should go and get the place.
he should go and get a place so that you guys, what were you thinking? Like, what was the plan? So go and get a place. So automatically you are going to pay for it. You were supposed to even say, okay, since I'm the one who even suggested that we should move out, I've inconvenienced you. So I'm pitching in 50%. Is he living there with his friends? He's living there with you.
Can you imagine?
And the guy got 85%, for crying out loud. 85. And you were only supposed to give him 15% for staying in the house as equally as he lived there. Why would you do that? and you're asking us if it's the right thing to do. Anyway, now back to the issue. You see, in our part of the world, women are so entitled. We feel so entitled that, once I'm the guys. There was a girl that we discussed some time ago. Someone wrote, and then the guy was giving her money and giving her allowance. She wasn't working, and she was complaining that it's not plenty, and abusing the guy because what he was giving her was not enough. Meanwhile, you don't work. Now, madam, please give him the 15% because it's a pittance. It's compared to what he has got. He has gotten 85%. So what is your problem? If he has tried, some people just tell you that, what, this time I don't have the rent. Can you pay the rent or something? Because we both live there. But he was able to face up to that responsibility and get 85% of the rent. And he's only asking you for 15%, and then you are writing to the show.
I know.
For help.
Like, if I were the girl, I would be empathetic of the guy because technically at first he used to be like he was working. Therefore he had money and he had loose change in order to be able to do the things that he was doing, renting and doing all of these things. But now, Charlie, reality has set in. And if I were you, I'll encourage him, say, the amount of money, because in Ghana you don't pay 2-3 months rent like you do in the UK, or even 1 month rent. In Ghana you pay like
2 years.
1 year, 2 years. I don't even think we pay 1 year. You pay like 2 years.
Some people are not
2
taking
years,
the 2
3
years.
years.
It's 1 year. They are taking 2 years.
Thank you. And can you imagine all that 2 years amount of money? That amount of money could be pumped into his business that he's doing to be able to reap, profits. But now he's investing in his rent just because of you, just because you want to be all lovey-dovey. Lovey-dovey comes with support. Lovey-dovey comes with responsibility. Like you can't have your cake and eat it.
Even as bad as situations are, the guy is still able to come up with money for rent. And you know that the thing is bad, but he doesn't make excuses. He doesn't say that, okay, because business is not how do you call it?
Blooming.
Business is not blooming or booming or blooming, whatever. Business is not booming. He's not making excuses that Charlie, things are not good. So Charlie, some people will even if the money is there, they'll tell you that she already knows that I'm not doing too well in the business, so she'll pitch in. Yeah. But you can see clearly that he's not doing well in the business, but he's still, trying to live up to the responsibility or step up to the plate.
Right. Step up to the plate.
Step up to the plate. Okay? So be appreciative of the fact that even though he is struggling, he is still living up to your. He's not even married to you.
Exactly.
He's not even married to you. If he was married, you go like, okay, so he's my husband, and even that, when you are married, it is a shared responsibility. And this one, you are the one who told the guy that move out of your parents' house because you want privacy.
And you see how she thinks.
Yeah, you're not willing to pay for the privacy.
If she
pay for it.
gives him the 15%, she will be encouraging him to be lazy. Charlie, some way. Like, no, it's not cool. You're not cool. You are telling him to go back to mommy and daddy's house, save that money, and invest it in his business. When the business does well, then you can move out together. Then you know that, at least now he's broken even. Now there's some profit coming in. Then now let's look at how we're looking at our life together. Don't expect to have your cake and eat it and demand the world. By now, he's probably buying her panties, probably buying Vodafone. I said, credits for her on her phone. Charlie, what's up?
Yeah, these people have this mentality that the man is supposed to do everything.
Yeah.
But back in the Stone Ages, when the man was supposed to do everything, women had the responsibility they were performing. They were in charge of domestic care and child care. What exactly is he doing for this guy?
Thank you.
Nothing.
What is she doing for this guy? And this whole mentality that a guy is supposed to live alone to be responsible. It's for me, it's crap.
Thank you.
If you live in a place like Accra, look at the rents coming out of university. How many people come out of university with inheritance and capital? And if I have my parents' house, I'm living in my parents' house, and that is saving me money. A girl, and that boy too, a woman tells you to move out of your father's house to go and take on his
She's in love.
And they're in love. The way we envision love and all these Cinderella fairy tales, we need to be practical. And now you are under this burden, and the person that you are sacrificing for doesn't even value it.
Yeah.
It thinks you are lazy.
Yeah.
Go back to your mother's house, invest that rent. Go back. If she leaves you, she should go. I know. Why am I even advising the guy? He's not the one who wrote it.
So to end what I wanted to end with, you lack the maturity to live an independent life. Obviously, you don't know what that entails. So move back to your parents' house if you think you cannot help with 15% rent. You don't know what it means to be independent of your parents. So move back, okay, and use your money for what you want to use it for. Just like you even had the temerity to say that you have the money, but you don't give it to
Yes.
Sure. So you lack that maturity. Move back to your parents' house.
You know what I'm asking myself, if she really actually loves him.
No.
And she's not there
she
just
does.
for what.
We have the wrong perception of love.
No, I'm only asking that because, for me, it's a no-brainer. If I had moved in with my boyfriend and it was time for rent and he told me he had 85, it was a no-brainer to just give him the 15, especially if I was capable.
Yeah.
Because I love him, I know where this is going. We are in sync.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
But the minute I start to question, should I help him? Like, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't make it like it's
true.
Anyway, we'll
And
go
true,
for,
genuine love wouldn't do
no,
that. Exactly.
It's a no-brainer.
That's true.
You're with the guy.
That's true.
Charlie, we'll go for a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sister on City TV and City FM. Interesting conversations on the show today. 054-998-6996 is our WhatsApp number. You can send an email to jessica@cityfmonline.com as well. Alrighty, so we have another message here. It says, good evening, sisters. I had a baby 11 months ago, and since then my boyfriend has refused to make love to me. I've tried everything possible, but to no avail. I'm tempted to just get satisfaction elsewhere, Body no be firewood. What say you? Claudia. She said body no be firewood though.
You see, I don't understand where people always choose to look for the easy way out, like as if body no be firewood will solve the fundamental problem of your partner not being attracted to you. You going out there to have sex won't solve the problem at home. Because he doesn't even know that you are looking for solutions. He doesn't know that you are attending to your fire. So how does that even solve the problem? You see, the issue of postnatal depression is real, both for men and both for women. Some men selfishly feel they are not attracted to their wives because their wives' bodies have changed. Some go into the delivery room, they see all the mechanics going on down there, and it kills their drive. It's normal. It's proven. There's research. It happens. So find out, is it that he's dealing with some sort of stress that is killing the attraction towards you? And then work it out. For me, this is more of a communication problem. It's more of an attraction problem because you see, after children, your lives change. And you need time for adjustment, both for the man and both for the woman. It is typically harder on the woman because she went through the process of giving birth, her body changing, the health, the medical, her mental situation, the baby coming in, waking up at night. I don't even know if the two of you are even sharing childcare, because some men, when they see you changing the poop and the diaper, whatever, it just kills it for them. And there's a solution also to that, to also make them part of the child caring whatever arrangement so that they feel part and parcel of the baby's life. There's also the option of where he feels you are giving all the attention to the child, and so then he feels left out, and then he decides to act out based on that. And it can also be that when you got pregnant, sex wasn't happening and he decided to start talking to someone else. So there are so many what ifs and ifs out there. So instead of being very, very selfish and thinking about yourself and wanting to go out there to seek help, which is not proper, why don't you talk to the person, the source of the problem, the man in the house who doesn't want to touch you? Is it counseling that you need? Is it going through, let him talk through his day with you, what he did, what he doesn't did, what he didn't do, what he likes, what he doesn't like, what does he feel has changed? the most important question, what has changed? We are not where we used to be. It is not where we used to be. How do we get back to what we were, or even better? Because the truth of the matter is, the change is real. And accepting that your lives have changed is a bigger part of the solution. And then once you accept that there are now changes, be it physical, emotional, and most importantly, mental, then you can find a solution to it. But I wouldn't even advise you to go out there. Why is that even a solution on the table? Do you think he also doesn't have feelings? Don't you think he's probably also going through something bigger that he needs help with? But he's not talking, which is the bigger problem here. So talk to him like he's that person that you've had a baby with, and he must have qualified for something before you slept with him. So there's something there to work with.
Yeah.
So talk to him and find a solution to it. Now, body not be fire. We all have feelings. That's
True. All right, ladies, you've got maybe 2 minutes each. Talk to me. What do you think?
I think that you cannot solve the problem out of your relationship. You're just compounding it. You go have a shag or two with somebody else, come back, and then you wash up, and then come back to your guy. Did she sound as though she's got evidence that the guy was cheating with her on somebody else? No. He's probably just blocked out. It could be. But then again, another question, like my pastor always say, if you're not eating at home, where are you eating? Because it's been over 11 months. So like Claudia said, have that conversation with him. Takes me back to my experience after having our first child. Stefan was scared. Even...
Was he in the delivery room with you?
No, he was not in the delivery room with me, but he was there every step of the way. But even after conception, he was scared that every time we were intimate, like there was something going to happen to the baby.
Right.
And it's because he loved me too much, like to that extent, because he was on the phone every time and he could hear me when I was about to give birth. And he was there. And then even breastfeeding, even I was sore, like the whole challenge, and he could see me in tears. Cut a long story short, right? I had to go on to him because he was like, even after I had a baby, he's like, no, he's scared. So saying, open fire. And then tell show. So it's about how you encourage your partner and how you also position yourself and present yourself. Do you make the house exciting for him to be, and do you get him involved in taking care of the child? Like, what is his place? You can't just get up and like assume that, oh, he's fine. Men deal with, especially when they love you, they deal with the whole childbirth, the whole process differently. So you need to be tactful, and you need to take your time, and you need to also understand your partner and have that great conversation, and Charlie, you'll be fine.
Ceci, final words.
Yeah, so I think we need to have a root cause mindset to issues. You don't just attack the symptoms of the issue that you're having, because having sex outside of your marriage will obviously not solve the issue. Now, childbirth, apart from the fact that it brings changes, yes, there's another human being there. Now, what do we do? But there are also situations where after giving birth, maybe your sex drive, the sex drive has dipped, or in her case, Akoso. Yes. So sometimes you need to reorient your partners or your husbands. Like, Charlie, the body has changed, but the thing is the same. Just try and warm up to the idea of coming back. It takes some reorientation, because I don't see that maybe, okay, I have talked to him about it and he said this. You just said you've tried everything possible. How are you doing the trying? Okay. So you need to have a proper conversation with him. Get to know where his mind is, what he thinks, what is happening, because obviously it wasn't like this before you had the baby. So have a fruitful conversation with him, and then from there you know what to do. But have a root cause mindset to the problem. Having sex outside of the marriage or your relationship will not solve the problem. It won't.
Just quick question. What if he was not in love with her before they had the baby?
Maybe.
What if?
Maybe. You never know.
She's trying to justify the thing.
We have to end the conversation here, though. Thank you very much, ladies. Claudia, Olivia, Ceci, for coming through again. And, of course, to our sponsors, Vodafone, Together We Can, Kelkis Toothpaste, Happy Smiles, and Talia Rice, always coming home to love. Thank you for the support. My name is Jessica. Thanks to you for listening and watching us every single week on this station. We completely appreciate it. We'll see you same time next week.